Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kristen and today I am unboxing the April 2024 Inkflight box. In this Inkflight we have a sampling of 3 different ink brands, 2 of which are new to this box, Tom's Studio from the UK and Kurutake from Japan. We previously featured Germany's Octopus Fluids in Inkflights 70 and 81. In this selection, you'll find a variety of bold hues that have shading and sheen, some with intense sheen. Okay, so these are the inks. Look at that. Ooh, it's like a detective octopus. Oh my gosh. There's a picture of Tom right there. Oh my goodness. Is that Tom? Okay. Stickers. Did they shift? Yeah, they shifted. Okay, come on down. Here we go. Midori stickers for diary. Cool. Okay, so I got 2 sets. They're both by Midori. And this is, okay, these are weather. Weather stickers. Very good. Good. Usual. Bad. Very bad. I guess it could be either weather or you can maybe have these as emulsion stickers. Nice little stickers for your diary. And, ooh, Wonderland 222. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try this out right now because I'm just so excited to try it. Do they have any information about it? Because I am a complete noob when it comes to this brand. A5 size notebook. As your nib stands from the silky smoothness of the legendary 52 GSM Tomoe River paper by Tomoegawa, it will feel like you've entered a writing wonderland. Use this as an undated daily planner, bullet journal, or freeform notebook for all your thoughts, ideas, and sketches. So you might have to encourage it to lay flat. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, that's nice. Awesome. Yeah, it's a nice subtle grid. It goes from 1 all the way down to 24. See that? 1 all the way down to 24 hours at the very bottom. There is like a very subtle solid line right across the center, like right at the 12 o'clock mark. And then there's another line, solid line that goes from the center of the top all the way down to that solid line in the middle. I guess you can put the date up there in the top corner for each of these pages. Exactly the same. Oh, there's a bookmark or 2 bookmarks. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I really want to like iron these ribbons out. Oh, okay. It looks like it's laid out as a bullet journal. So you can write your key here. So any symbols that you want to put and remember, you can put it there. The index for the future. So yep, these are numbered pages. How many pages of index do you get? You get 1 index page that's divided down the center. Is that center? Or is it, I don't know. I'm gonna do like a little cheap way to measure. Here we go. Yeah, okay, it's center. It is centered. All right. It just looks off center. I think it probably looks off center because the margin on the inside, the inner margin, is much wider than the outer margin. So it looks like the center line is off center. Okay, so the grid is off for that first page. Why is the grid off over here? Yeah, the grid is slightly off. There are less, it looks like there are less boxes. The boxes are much wider on this index page. The grid lines up for the rest of the book, but on this index page, it's just slightly off. Okay, so that's just cardstock at the very back. And the same thing for the very front. I wonder what that QR code does. Where does it lead you? I don't know. Oh yeah, I said I was going to test it out. This is looking to be really, really good. It performs as expected. This is lovely 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper. So it looks really good. It handles shimmer wonderfully. I am very satisfied with this paper. Not sure what I want to do with it right now, but it's a great looking notebook. I would love to see the vinyl matte stickers so that I can put them on my water bottle. I would love to put some of these on my water bottle, but I don't want the high gloss stickers on there. Okay, so I'm gonna get these inks ready and do some swatching now. This lush green with a hint of sheen draws its inspiration from New Forest in southern England. This is a beautiful deep green color. Oh, I like that. Yes, I like it. Tom's Studio Damson. You'll want to pick this deliciously juicy dark purple ink once you see its sweet shading. Oh, nicely done. I love this purple. This is nice. Yeah, Damson looks really good. Tom's Studio Forest Green looks really nice here. I see a little bit more blue coming out in that ink swatch. I like that. This reminds me of, what is it? KWZ Brown Pink. This might be a bit more purple. I love this deep color. I love these deep dark colors. This seems like it dried a little bit lighter. We'll see if I like that. I don't know. Octopus Fluids Phoenix. This super sheening ink seems to set the page on fire with its orange base and brilliant gold sheen. It says orange base, but I see red instead of orange. Wow, they're like a wet, watery red. Look at that sheen. It's already appearing. That's actually really cool. It's a bit watery, so it flows really nicely, actually. It's coating the vial like it already has Venice Pen's White Lightning in here. I'm guessing this is a very well-behaved ink. Octopus Fluids Medusa. You might turn to stone if you stare too long at the reflective green sheen of this purple ink. That is intriguing. It spreads nicely. It's more of a berry color. Damson seems to be a cooler tone purple. Or I don't know. This seems more saturated than Damson. I see the sheen appearing already. It's like an electrifying green. Looks fun. Wow. That's a lot of sheen. Okay. Can I have an electrifying green sheen on a purple ink that does not overtake the purple color? Does anybody know of one? I would love to see it. Is that what the new Lummy Dark Lilac ink looks like? Does it have like this bright green sheen, but you can still see the purple color? I don't know. Please let me know. The last Octopus Fluids ink is Dragon. Octopus Fluids Dragon. The impressive dragon reflects a deep reddish glow from its dark teal scales. Wow. Yeah, this is a strong red sheen. This looks really good. Kuretake Meiji no Iro, Shimbashi Iro. A bright cyan blue that was popular in geisha fashion back in the Meiji era of Japanese history. Ooh. Feels like a very well-behaved ink. Kuretake Meiji no Iro. Ebi-cha is a soft brown, like that of traditional Japanese pants, hakama, worn by women. I prefer the look of it on Cosmo Air Light paper, but it's still a bit too reddish for me, like this cool tone red-brown. I'd rather have warmer brown inks. Kurocha might be a bit similar to this one as well. Alright, so I just want to do a quick review, even though some of these inks are still drying on the papers. Tom's Studio Forest is a really nice green ink. I love what it's doing on Cosmo Air Light paper and Iroful paper. I see a little bit more blue in this ink color on these two sheets of paper, and so it just adds a little bit more interest. So it doesn't look like your standard green ink like it does on the Midori paper, but it's just like, it's a little bit different. So if we take a look at the way Tom Studio looks on these two papers, on the left is Cosmo Air Light paper, and on the right is Yamamoto Bank paper. So the Yamamoto Bank paper is showing more of a true green. On the Cosmo Air Light paper, you see more of a blue green. It's much more cool tone. Oh, and while we're looking at it, I can go ahead and go down to Tom's Studio Damson. It looks like, was there a little bit, there was no bleed through, but it looked like it was almost starting to feather, but I'm not too sure about that. Taking a look at the two colors, it is more of a berry purple color on the bank paper than it is on the Cosmo Air Light paper. On Cosmo Air Light is more of a powdery grayish purple color, and then down to Octopus Fluids Phoenix. They are pretty similar in color, actually. There's not too much different going on besides the way the sheen is presenting itself. It seems to be a bit more splotchy on the Cosmo Air Light paper. The sheen is much more smooth on the Yamamoto Bank paper. The sheen for Octopus Fluids Medusa, it seems like it's much more reflective on Cosmo Air Light paper than it is on the Yamamoto Bank paper. And it's the same with Octopus Fluids Dragon. The sheen is much more reflective here on the Cosmo Air Light paper. Even though the sheen does appear on the bank paper, it's much more shiny and reflective on the Cosmo Air Light paper on the left. Kuretake Shimbashi Iro is a really nice cyan turquoise blue color. I feel like I've seen this color so many times that, you know, it's nice. Not bad. Kuretake Ebi-cha is okay. It is not my favorite. It might be one of my least favorite inks for this month. As I was saying with these two papers, Cosmo Air Light paper and bank paper, it's much more of a grayish purple. Tom Studio Damson is a grayish purple and is more of a berry purple on the bank paper. Over here on the cream Midori paper, it is even warmer than it is on the bank paper. Octopus Fluids Phoenix is pretty much the same across papers, and I'll say the same thing about Octopus Fluids Medusa. There is quite a bit of sheen going on, especially on Cosmo Air Light and Midori papers, but it is very much present on all 5 papers. Octopus Fluids Dragon. This is one of my favorites. I really enjoy the color of Tom's Studio Damson. I really enjoy Octopus Fluids Dragon as well. These might be my top 2. I'm very curious about Octopus Fluids Medusa. I really want to see what that looks like in a fountain pen. I'm very fond of Octopus Fluids Dragon. It looks pretty consistent across papers. There's less sheen for this ink on Tomoe River paper. The most sheen I see so far is on the bank paper, and it's actually it might be tied with Midori paper as well. Kodotake looks pretty similar across papers. It might be a bit more vibrant on the Midori paper, but it's not by much. It's actually pretty similar across papers, yeah. And Kodotake Ebicha is warmer on the cream Midori paper, of course. Yeah, it looks more red on bank paper than it does on Tomoe River paper. Let me give you a closer look at these two. So we've got the bank paper on the left and Tomoe River paper on the right. And so it's less saturated, more of a brown color on Tomoe River, and I can see much more red in this brown ink on the bank paper. Octopus Fluids Dragon, the sheen where it is super duper shiny and reflective, it's still a bit tacky to the touch. It's a bit sticky. And this part right here, I don't even want to touch it. I have a feeling that that's probably still wet right there. Beautiful paper seems like it had the most difficulty with Octopus Fluids Dragon as far as the wetness and the slow drying sheen. So Beautiful paper and Cosmo Air Light as well. That's pretty shiny on that paper too. So I'd be really cautious about touching it when you see like super duper shiny sheen. This right here. Yep, that's sticky right there too. So that O is still a bit tacky on Tomoe River paper. And last, this is a Sanzen Tomoe River paper. These inks look really good. And just like with Cosmo Air Light and Beautiful papers, this is also taking a while to dry. Octopus Fluids Dragon on the Sanzen Tomoe River paper. So it's still quite shiny in a couple places. So I'm not ready to close this book. So I would not use this ink in wetter writing fountain pens. I'd probably use it in a dryer or something. Maybe my Kaweco Sport fountain pens would do well with this. Yeah, so look at that. This purple ink is no longer purple. It's basically green. And I like the color of this. This reminds me of Colorverse SM1, this tealy color with a red sheen. Octopus Fluids Dragon looks really, really nice. Shimbashi Iro from Kodotake actually looks really good. This reminds me of Wayfarer. What is it? Wear and Go Wayfarer, but without the shimmer particles. Octopus Fluids Phoenix. So it went down red and it dried orange because of this strong sheen. So the ink color is more of a reddish color, even though it looks the same on the camera, but this looks red in person and this looks orange in person. Tom's Studio Damson is a beautiful purple color. I'm more excited about the coloring card than I am about this ink on the 5 papers, the 6 papers that I swatched. So to take a look at these two ink colors side by side, it's much more of a desaturated purple here on Tomoe River paper, but it's got a little bit more of a reddish berry color on the coloring card. I would love to try this ink someday, so I think I'm going to keep this one around. I'm going to keep it in my collection. I am undecided about this green color, Tom's Studio Forest Green. It looks really good on 2 papers, Beautiful and Cosmo Air Light, but it looks like a common green color elsewhere. So I'm undecided. I don't know about that. What do you think about like these deep forest green colors? I do enjoy the behavior of these green inks. They are really, really well behaved inks, but as far as the color of this ink goes, I'm a bit underwhelmed by this one. The ones that I really enjoy, Tom Studio Damson, Octopus Fluids Dragon, and I am curious about Octopus Fluids Medusa just to see if this actually looks purple in a fountain pen or if it's still like a strong sheen no matter what pen I use. I don't know. But these are the ones that intrigue me the most. This is a really, really good one. That's a no. That's a no. This is, I've seen it too many times. And I've also seen this one too many times, but it's still a nice one. A nice ink color that I've seen a bunch of times. But these ones intrigue me the most, even though there are probably a bunch of these out there. And there are probably a bunch of these out there too. But yeah, these are the ones that I really, really enjoy and that I would love to see in some fountain pens. Let's do some swatch comparisons to see if I have anything similar to any of these new inks. This is Octopus Fluids Phoenix next to Venta Inks Damali. Oh wow. Aurora Red next to Octopus Fluids Phoenix. The Phoenix seems a bit more grungy by comparison, but they are still very similar. Yeah, I can see a little bit more of the red, more saturation in Aurora Red. Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea. This is actually orange instead of being a red ink with a golden sheen. Colorverse Alpha Ori. Ferris Wheel Press Hardy Harvest is more of a peachy coral color than Phoenix. Kuretake Ebicha next to Pelican 4001 Brilliant Brown. They are not similar, but I just wanted to see the two of them next to each other. Here is Kuretake Ebicha next to Aurora Sepia. Sepia seems to be a bit more of a golden brown next to this color. Nada Brown is more of a golden brown as well. Kurocha is a golden brown, but they still have like this deep dark brown color. They're very similar in that aspect, but there's more red to the Ebicha color. Here is Ebicha next to Diamine Rider's Blood. I actually prefer Diamine Rider's Blood. It's got more of a burgundy shade of red rather than a cool toned brown red. Robert Oster Blood Moon. Here is Diatramenous Aubergine next to Tom Studio Damson. They're very, very similar to each other. It seems that Damson might have just a tad bit more blue, maybe? Colorverse Pillars of Creation seems to be closer in color to Tom's Studio Damson, but that green sheen is so very similar to Octopus Fluids Medusa. It doesn't take over the ink color like Octopus Fluids Medusa's sheen does. And Van Diemen's Sea Urchin, it's also got a strong green sheen, but the green sheen looks to be deeper in color than Octopus Fluids Medusa. Tom Studio Damson next to Octopus Fluids Aubergine. Diamine Amazing Amethyst. Octopus Fluids Write and Draw Violet Giraffe. KWZ Brown Pink. There it is. So very similar. It seems that KWZ Brown Pink is less saturated. This is the one that I was thinking about. Nagasawa, the Kobe number 35, Mount Suwa Leaf Green. These were the two colors that I was thinking about. This was the green ink that I had inked up in the two Pilot E95S fountain pens from Nadia. Tom's Studio Forest Green reminded me of this ink color. Tom's Studio seems to be more saturated and slightly lighter, even though I can't really compare the writing samples because they were done with two different dip pens. Diamine Spruce next to Tom's Studio Forest Green. Van Diemen's Sea Turtle has a very prominent sheen, and it's a cooler green tone than Forest Green by Tom's Studio. Yeah, Pelican Dark Green is more of a blue green. Tom's Studio Forest Green has a little bit more yellow in there. Here's Octopus Fluids Dragon next to Diamine Aurora Borealis. So Aurora Borealis seems to be slightly less saturated and with much less sheen. It also seems to be a bit greener. Here's Lamy Tourmaline. They're pretty comparable in color. Tourmaline just doesn't have a prominent sheen. Same thing with Colorverse Alpha Virgo. And now looking at Waringo Wayfarer next to Kuretake Shimbashiro. Yeah, so they are very, very similar to each other. Wayfarer seems to be a little bit more green. Yeah, Shimbashiro is a cooler tone blue by comparison. Oh, Private Reserve Blue Suede is slightly less saturated, and it looks like it might have a little bit more green than Shimbashiro. Diamine Aqua Lagoon is very similar. Shimbashiro might have a bit more green than Diamine Aqua Lagoon. So yeah, those are all 7 of the inks. We've got our stickers, our Midori stickers, as well as the ink flight sticker, and then the beautiful Timor River Paper Wonderland 222 A5 notebook. This was an interesting ink flight box. I'm not too sure about half of these inks. This is a really, really nice notebook. I actually really like the cover. It feels really good, nice and flexible. It opens flat and it's got really minimal looking grid lines. That's a win. That's a really nice one. I'll have to see whether or not... No, I actually might give those to my kids. They would really appreciate those stickers. I think I'm going to give those to my kids. I'm going to have some fun with this A5 notebook. What am I going to do with these inks? I would love to try this one. I would love to try this one. And I will probably end up trying this one eventually. But these are the two that I really want to try. I will probably try these out during a 30 inks 30 days sprint. And these will probably go into my donation pile. That is my experience for this month's ink flight box. Let me know what your favorite inks were from this month and what fountain pens you would use with these inks. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.